What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the den. All my friends in the den. How are you this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing fine and dandy. And all the ladies are sweet like candy. Heyo. 69% of the time, that works all the time. But I hope y'all are all doing well tonight. And we're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about a lot of things. And we're going to see what we got joining us. Now, it might be kind of random day and night. As you can see by the title, y'all know where it is. But let's just talk about it, man. Like I said, I hope all of you are doing well. Let's see what we got joining us this evening. Let's get to some good conversation. I see Miss Bell. Just Sarah D. the Gamma, what's the motherfucking deal? Empress Yaya, what's the motherfucking deal? INF Storms, let me see. What's the motherfucking deal? Coltrane, what's the motherfucking deal? Shelly Long. Hope you brought your snapper with you. DK4H Town, what's the motherfucking deal? Dakota in the building. Only one lie in the building. Let's see. Miss Williams is in the building. Rashida came to check in and get pistachios. Did she bounce? She ain't even in the building, but she gonna get them pistachios. It's all good. Okay, Shonda Banksy, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Did again, I'll make sure I ain't miss you. I don't know if I did or I didn't. But hey, you get a double shout out if I did. Or if I didn't, I don't know. Kenneth, Simpin Ken is in the building. I like the new Kenneth more than I like the old Kenneth. Let's see. Jason S in the building, Sweetberry in the building. What's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. And Tulio, welcome to the den for your first time. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's a little bit more rowdy here than in the sauce. So hopefully you enjoy it. I think there's a little bit of something for everybody in the den. As we continue down the list, 335 in the building. First as always. Let's see. Shannon. I have questions. Jones. What's the motherfucking deal? Shonda Tony in the building. What's the motherfucking deal? Kay Grace.
Dan Strong donated $5.
Oh, man.
Tomorrow is my last day in the Navy. 8 years later, I identify as a civilian. Finally. Shout out to Honcho in the den.
Man, let's all take a moment to congratulate Dan, the motherfucking man, one, not only for his service, but his commitment and to being able to embrace a new side of life, man. Welcome to the normie side, Dan. Man, congratulations on that, man. I hope your journey is plentiful, bountiful, and successful, man. And I appreciate all the love and support that you've given to the den. And hopefully civilian life won't take you away from us. But shout out to Dan, man. That's wonderful, man. Shout out Miss Shonda. And if I missed anybody, if I missed you, I ain't dish. Marie Lovely. I can't miss Marie Lovely. The lovely Miss Marie. And Miss LaDon Mellow Moonchild. Always cool, calm, and collected when she calls in. And Adeline Johnson, how are you doing this evening? What's the motherfucking deal? To everybody, again, if I missed you, I ain't dish you. You know it's nothing but love over here. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. And I'll be giving out these damn pistachios as we go. Y'all was all, I wouldn't say early, I was late, but y'all took advantage of my tardiness. But I guess technically you were early. You were early because I was late. Or I don't fucking know. Y'all were here, that's all that matters. Cleveland. And the Baker Mayfield hype's coming back. Enjoy that. So let's talk about it. I want to talk about the identifying thing, and apparently some stuff is going on. I believe I saw in the den. I saw it was I think one of y'all said in Washington. Somebody said in Massachusetts. Now they're allowing you to put X as a gender identifier. Ronald Eisen, what's the motherfucking deal? And Big Mexican, how are you doing, Big Mexican? Man, look. So, you see what y'all do. This misrepresentation, this falsification of my my thought process. So y'all tried to say that I hated homosexuals. It's not true. If I did, well, we wouldn't have had some of the calls that we've had in recent days. I have no hate for anyone. There are just certain individuals in particular that I don't care for. There are certain agendas in particular that I do not care for. I have no hate in my heart for anyone. Now, a big Mexican, you as a specific Mexican, I find distasteful. But other than that, you're all right. You're all right, my book. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to talk about this because I forgot where it was, too, that they were allowing people to go back and change their gender on their, not only on the identification, but also on their birth certificates. So now you have these, official documents where people are going and they're able to change their name, they're able to change their gender, they're able to identify as a different race if they so choose. And I'm just sitting here, what a clusterfuck of confusion this is going to create. What's the point of having a fake ID now? I can say I identify as whatever. I mean, there is no fake ID. Just go and get your official shit changed. You know what I mean? It's just, this is the crazy shit that is going on. This is the crazy stuff that is taking place these days. And I just wonder the ramifications. Like I say, in the long term, how is that going to impact society? How is that going to impact government institutions? I mean, we already know most government entities are slow to process things. I mean, how much more of a backup or a backlog is this going to cause, or is it going to be relatively smooth? I just think it's going to be an issue. But I wonder how that works. So say you have a legal situation, right? You got to go away for a little bit. Can I identify as a woman and go to the woman's prison? That would be fun. I mean, hey, I identify as a woman. You got to send me to the female prison. I'm going on vacation. I'm going to have a field day, right? Man thinks, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Thinks, glad to see you. And that's my deal, right? So I'm just like, how is this a thing? If you would have told me in the mid 90s when I was a younger Honcho, I was about, let's say 95, when I'm probably about 10 on the way to, let's say a 10-year-old Honcho, and you would have told me what was happening in 2020, I'd have been on some Jetson shit. Everybody's got a robot. We're living high in the sky in the high rise above all the smog. I would not think that we're having this discussion. Like, I would not have imagined that this would even be a thing, or remotely. Like, I wouldn't even be able to, like, if you would have told me this, my brain probably would have imploded. Not exploded, imploded, because I'd have been so deep in thought trying to figure out how this would work. It just caved in on itself. This day and age, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm just, man, I have missed like the last couple episodes of South Park. I think the last one I saw was Banned in China. And so my thing is just like, man, where are we? And like the old saying goes, you give them an inch, they take a mile, or maybe they take a kilometer. I don't know, but it's just like, man, it's like, it's just, where does it stop? Where does it stop? Now, it's almost one thing to try to figure out, okay, well, this person identifies as this, they identify as that, fine, whatever. If you're kind of stationary in your belief, I can kind of figure it out, I can get it. But again, where I start getting confused is when you identify as non-binary and things of that nature, like, then you don't identify as anything, right? Because you're just unidentifiable. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, I can only imagine the toll. Like, we as civilians, like, this is bullshit. But I can only imagine the toll that this takes on law enforcement, right? You pull somebody over and you're trying to, because I mean, law enforcement, you get out on a lot of technicalities when it comes to the law and legal things, right? So if you identify as all the stuff that you're not, and say they're looking for a particular suspect, or looking for, like, will that get you out of a case? Will that help you avoid a situation? Like, to me, again, it baffles my mind. Like, how did we get here? Like, again, I thought we would all be embracing technology to an extent, even though, I mean, we are, but not in the right ways. I thought we'd probably have figured out a way to maximize human capability at this point, but we're nowhere near any of that shit. We are just like, it's just, man, look, I don't know. I don't know how we got here. I don't know where it goes. I'm afraid to know what happens in the next 2 or 3, because this seems like, to me, unless I was just not paying attention, I might not have been. But this whole thing seems to have exploded since like 2015, 2016, so 3 or 4 years. And then now it's major. So I can only imagine what happens in the next 4 or 5 years. It's going to be complete and utter confusion, because you got people who I guess they're just not comfortable in their own skin for whatever reason. They feel like life would be better if I was something else. But the only person who really sees you is you. Now, you try to force other people to play along and play the game, but in reality, people see you for what you are. That's what they think. They may make the proper self-edits to say, okay, well, hey, that is whatever. And it is what it is. That's fine, I guess. But in your mind, do you really feel like that's where I wonder, because they talk about certain demographics of certain identifiable groups that have high rates of suicide. And I'm wondering, is it really the pressure from outside? Because to me, it seems like people are more with the shits than ever. So I don't know if the pressure is still the same as, say, maybe if this would have been a thing way back then. But you see, you have more support groups. Everything is more acceptable. We talk about the drag queen storytelling. We've talked about all of these things. But, so I don't know if the pressure's still the same, or is it really you dealing with internally that you don't feel like what you want to feel like? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to understand. So, this is crazy stuff. Y'all are terrible people. So that's what I'm saying. So I just find it really interesting, man. Like, government officials and like law enforcement. I'm trying to think what other groups are probably having a hard time with this kind of stuff. This makes me think about that fucking TSU video all over again. I don't know if y'all are in the Den Facebook group, but the one that Trill posted from TSU's homecoming. They got the little chicks who strut down the street, and then this dude just comes down the street and the whole thing, he's got his little leopard thing on, and the little girl is just sitting there, and she just makes this face like she's so confused. Like, that's the level of confused that I would have probably been at that age. Y'all make sure you hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. It is free 99. So my thing is this. Yeah, employers, oh my God. And when you talk about this, and we can be funny and we can crack jokes about it, but there are ramifications. And I really think that women see the most impact from that. And I didn't see the article, I didn't listen to what she said, but apparently people are getting mad and calling Hillary all right because she spoke on something about the about trans people making it harder on women, or how it's impacting women. So somebody's saying that Hillary is alt-right now. I guess alt-right is just the new hate speech, or the new whatever. Again, that shit don't mean it. Like, words only have the impact you allow them to have. Let me start paying out these pistachios before I forget, because then I'll definitely have to start owing up. So to me, I'm like, just stop the nonsense, man. The other day, too, we're talking about identities and race. I guess we're talking about everything. We're talking about race, gender, sex, whatever you want to call it. And what just keeps you from, like, that's what I'm saying. Like with non-binary or gender fluid, right? Gender fluid is when you can ride the wave, however you're feeling that day, right? And so my things with gender fluid, if you swap back and forth, like, do you have to have 2 IDs? You know what I'm saying? Do you have to, like, well, today, I'm Carl, tomorrow I'm Carla. Do I have 2 IDs for that? Like, how does that work? I'm curious about, some of these things. So, there we go. And again, it's really awkward. But somebody in the sauce, I want to say yesterday, I'm assuming it might have been a Baltimore fan, because they seem like to be a new name to me, told me that because I spoke negatively or on some of the negative aspects of Lamar Jackson's game, that I should be ashamed of myself for talking down on someone black. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's one thing, y'all. I guess people make the assumption, you got the dreads, they automatically assume super woke status or something like that. Man, look, everybody can get it. Your skin color does not give you a shield of protection.
Don Mellow Moonchild donated $1 through Super Chat. I appreciate the realness of the den.
Thank you, Miss LaDon, and we appreciate you. I appreciate the love, man. Thank y'all. And so my thing is, like, look, man, you can say anything you want to say, but there is no that's my problem. Like, I'm not with protected classes, protected groups, or anything like that. Like, I will recognize, the issues historically, whatever you have gone through and all that, but that doesn't give you an excuse. That's as a group. We live in a country where you as an individual can do anything you want to do. If you make a conscious decision to act on it, you can achieve anything you plan to achieve. With a little bit of planning, with a little bit of strategy, some dedication, and some willpower. And yeah, I got to work on some of those things. But you can achieve anything you want to in this country. Now, it's easy to make an excuse to say you can't, and why you can't because somebody else didn't, so that's why I can't because somebody else didn't do it. But a lot of people really don't try. A lot of people really don't make that effort to accomplish something different, And those that do, like I say, you've seen so many people who've come from disadvantaged positions to come to the top. You can't get that anywhere else. It just doesn't happen anywhere else. So my thing is this, man. People got to stop the nonsense. Again, the identity thing is here. There's no stopping it. It's like a runaway fucking train. I can't stop. I'm just one man. I started getting from the, well, no, hold on. I don't want to get in the train. Those days are over. But my deal is just like, man, look, it's crazy. And for people who, I guess, live regular day-to-day lives, who are not maybe in too many specific groups, it's difficult for us to understand, I guess, if we're not in that lifestyle. And it seems to be confusing because there was a deal a while back that it seems like people who are in that lifestyle are confused. And that should tell you, it's confusing if the people who are in that lifestyle are confused. And so, it is what it is. Hello, exploding potato. Boom. Yeah, it's only going to get worse. That's what I say with the next couple of years, depending on, certain outcomes, certain election results in certain areas, do not be surprised if shit gets real crazy. And I'm going to be honest, man, I don't want to be a part of it. I want to know where the exit is. Where is the emergency exit? Because some of this shit is just too much. And again, if you say anything, it's not that you're being reasonable or conscious or just trying to figure stuff out. It's that you're a hater, that you're a bigot, I'm not a bigot. I just don't kick it. That was poor rhyming. That would get away in today's mumble rap. I could have dropped the album. Other thing, and I want to talk about that real quick before we open up the line. I didn't really want to focus on that specifically because I thought it was rather odd that we did mention that we talked about schools yesterday, and so I thought it'd be kind of odd. I didn't want to go there. Plus, I didn't know how, Big Brother YT likes to act sometimes when you talk about certain topics. What happened in Santa Clarita? Now, I saw that trending earlier, and I thought it was probably about that show that was on, what was it, on Netflix, the Santa Clarita Diet or whatever, weird zombie shit. Yeah, I ain't never watched it, but I gotta finish up BoJack. BoJack's a great show. And then I saw what happened. I'm like, damn, we just talked about that last night. And and we talked about that last night, and I was just like, damn, that's crazy that happened right after speaking on that. I don't want to give Simpin' Ken his fucking pistachios, but I gotta do it. I don't know, where is the new Kenneth? I like the new Kenneth more than I like the old Kenneth. Okay. And so again, like I say, man, it's just so much awkward shit going on in the world, man. And if you don't agree with anything, then you're a hater. If you don't support anything, you're a hater. You're not allowed to have your own personal beliefs. Damn, what's going on? Shit was shaking over there. What the fuck? I got the other little screen up on the side. This shit looked crazy. Looked like I was fucking having a seizure over there. I don't know. Let me know if it's playing right for y'all, or if I'm glitching out or something. But that's all it is, man. Like, you gotta understand my premise. Again, there is no hate speech from me because, again, I have no hate in my heart. I don't hate anybody. I seek knowledge and I seek understanding. You know, that's why I'm welcoming to anybody of any background. You've never seen me get on the phone or somebody call who may have an opposing view, and I sit there and say, fuck you, fuck this for existing and arguing, because that doesn't make sense to me. You know, I just want to understand why you feel a certain way. I want to understand why you think the way you think, and I can understand someone else's logic. It may not suit me. I can understand somebody else's logic for, being the way they are. If they have a proper explanation, if they kind of give some background on stuff, cool, I get it. But me, I just may not agree to it. Danny B. Moore, what's the motherfucking deal? I've missed you. How have you been? But that's my thing, man. And so all this crazy identity stuff, all of this all over the place. Oh, I'm jumping around. I want to talk about the school thing. I didn't see, were there, I saw it early, and what I saw was that 6 people were injured, and that they had the suspect in custody, right? And so I didn't really hear any details. I don't know if they showed the photo. I know that's a thing that they've been starting to do. And the first people I started to see doing that was YouTubers who would say, we're not going to say the name, we're not going to show the face, we'll talk about it. And then you start to see the news kind of emulate that. You start to see a lot more news outlets, not show the face, not really give details on it. Kaepernick, he's got a shot. I mean, he said he's been training. He said he's been practicing. He has a chance to prove himself. Because here's my deal. You have you've had 3 years to train and become a better quarterback without having to take any injuries in the league. So, oh man, that's terrible. You stay safe out there. I don't know. Look. I don't know if you're a Ravens fan. Now, if you are, we got some beef this week. I don't know if you watch football like that, but if so, look, we got some beef this week, and it's whatever. But but my thing is this, man. Wow. So they say 2 girls are dead, but the shooter shot himself in the head. But did he die, or did they get it? Man spreading is a terrible thing. Man, I saw this woman, or I don't know how she identified. I look up. Let me not fuck up the identities. I don't know. But go out and try to deliberately man spread, right? So my thing is this: on his birthday, wow. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of shit do you have to be going through to do some shit like that? Your life is not that bad. Oh, I didn't get enough likes on social media, or I don't have enough friends on whatever. Only 2 people watch my TikTok. Oh, they say he killed him? Okay, so that's odd. I guess what I saw in the news earlier was saying that they had him in custody, so I don't know if maybe they had him in the hospital temporarily and then he died or something, or I'm not sure exactly what that meant. So 2 people died. I saw 6 were injured. And again, like I said, it's sad that, children have to go through that. And I know we tried to talk about it and come up with some solutions prior to, but it is what it is. But yeah, about the Kaepernick thing, like I say, he has a chance to prove himself. I think they said 11 or 12 teams are going to go out and watch it. There's a couple of teams that could use a backup quarterback, and if he's good enough, I'm sure that he'll get some shine. And I think part of the agreement is that he has to agree not to protest. So it is what it is. We'll figure it out. We'll see. My personal thing is, you have a chance. It is what it is. Here's the thing, man. Talent trumps everything. So if you're good enough and the team says, man, this guy's good enough to help us get to the next level, or you're good enough to help us fix a hole that we have, somebody's going to take that risk. But I agree that he's been out too long. But again, he says he's been training, he's been practicing. You've had 3 healthy years to do it. You know what it takes to play this game, so you have no excuse. So if he doesn't get signed with the team, I don't feel either way about it. If he does get signed with the team, cool beans for him. But again, if we get into the nuances of all that, it's just craziness. So, but with that being said, where are we at here? About 27 minutes in or so. I guess we could. Let me get the line set up. I ain't gonna open it just this second. Let me get it prepped. It was Kaepernick. It was something else we were talking about too that I didn't finish speaking on. The school thing. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Again, like I say, my thing is adults. And there's fucked up situations, but adults, for the most part, you got to look after yourself. But when it comes to the kids, man, that's when I find it most fucked up. And I find it unfortunate that when things happen to children, especially when you're in a situation where it's somewhere you have to be, and you don't really have an option on that, and then you get caught in the cross, if you will. Come on, what are you doing? Stop the nonsense. So, like I say, my thing is, it's rather unfortunate. But I'm not super familiar with California. Is Santa Clarita supposed to be a nice area? I mean, is that supposed to be or am I thinking of something else? So I thought that's supposed to be a relatively decent part of Cali. So, and again, and I think that people always, want to be rich or want to be raised rich, but I think when you are raised with a lack of appreciation, it works the same way. I think that along the spectrum, like you could be super filthy rich and born that way and not have a care in the world and give a shit about anybody, not appreciate anything you have and feel empty inside. And I think the same way works with being born in extreme poverty. You can. I'm not saying that you always do, but I think you can obtain more ambition from the impoverished side. If you see somebody do it in a major way. But you have a lot of people on that side too who feel empty inside, feel worthless, and so they have no respect for life either. They don't respect their own lives. They don't have respect for life either. So, like I say, it's unfortunate all the way around, and it is what it is. So, D-Love in the building. What's the motherfucking deal? Real life Mr. Fight. Who was scrapping on the Steelers game? Suspend everybody. Fuck them all. But let me see. Miss Angela. How are you, Angela? Good to see you. Crafts and Hardest, what's the motherfucking deal? And I think, I'm not sure. Did anybody? Pretty regular middle class? Okay. All right. I have no idea. It's a newish era? Okay. All right. So here's the deal. Hitting dudes with him. Oh, that's going to get you canned. That's going to get you canned, bro. Hey, look, I told y'all about that helmet shit. I had an experience with a helmet. Maybe not. I don't remember. There's a picture out there. I'm gonna try to find that shit. I'm gonna try to find that picture one day. It was a stupid thing of me to do, but I didn't swing the helmet. I got a helmet swung at me for anybody who was thinking, oh, I'm just out there swinging helmets. I would never do that. And catch these hands, I ain't gonna hit you with no fucking helmet. Now, I guess it depends on the situation, if it's life or death or something like that. But that is the deadline number. Let's get some calls, man. Whatever's on your mind. Like I say, I'm speaking on the identifying thing, but hey, it's kind of a throw it off Thursday. So if there's something else on your mind that you want to speak on, we can speak on it. If you want to talk about the particular topic at hand, we can talk about that. Like I say, whatever is clever. Y'all know how we do in the den. Sometimes we try to have a particular topic and it goes way left field. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Honcho, it's Big M. What's up, man?
Big M, how are you?
What's going on, bro?
Oh, not much. I was having a pretty good day until you called.
The only reason I called is because everybody in the chat's already talking about it. Mm-hmm. You have to watch this Myles Garrett craziness. I've never seen anything in the NFL like this.
What? Is it really that crazy?
Bro, he ripped Mason Rudolph's helmet off.
Yeah.
and then hit him in the head with it.
Whoa. Whoa, man.
And then
They need to take,
proceeded to have like a street fight in the end zone.
well, he needs to, he's probably going to be out of there for a while. Yeah,
His season's done.
Yeah, maybe part of next season, too. They need to test that guy, like, immediately after the game. He needs to be tested for steroids. Like,
It was the craziest thing. It was you watch it a couple of times and you're like, is this real? Like, did this really happen?
yeah. Wow.
And Ponce, I don't know how you say that dude's name. Like, kicked Myles Garrett in the helmet and started street fighting him in the end zone.
What the fuck is going on? Yeah, I'm gonna check this shit out, man. I don't know why are we talking about it. This is crazy. Baker said it was bad. Fuck Baker Mayfield. So I'm gonna pull this up over time. I'm sure it's on the Twitters already. Let me.
Yeah, you need to look it up on your phone and watch this
No.
because it is the craziest thing ever.
Y'all want a live reaction here. This sounds like, let me use the sports account. I'm sure it's there already.
Oh, I'd imagine it was there seconds after it happened. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get their helmet ripped off and then get hit with it.
Oh, okay, that's just a still image from it. Let's see. That's Tomlin talking. I want to see the fucking video. Somebody show me the video. It must be something because people are talking super crazy. Okay, here we go. What do we got?
Bro, so, and then Mason Rudolph stands up after getting hit with the helmet.
Yeah.
And then somebody else comes from behind and just shoves him down again.
Yeah. Oh, you can't do that.
No, it's probably against the rules in the NFL.
What is going on, man? Like, what is wrong with you, fucking Myles Garrett?
That's what happens when you're getting coached by Freddie Kitchens.
Man, like the play is way over. What are you doing over there? What's going on with these lines?
I'm telling you, that was crazy. It was like a street fight. It was a tryout for the WWE.
Yeah. That's wild, man. I need to see that. I guess that was like a short version of it. I'm gonna watch the rest of you later. I'm gonna get way distracted. We're turning to Saul Sports over here. Yeah, he might fuck around and throw him out the league just to make a fucking point. That would be craziness. Yeah, he's gonna be out of there for a long time. But yeah, I mean, you had two old linemen right there. If I was Mason Rudolph, if I bought y'all anything, for protecting me, which they probably haven't, I want it back. That's fucking crazy, man. That's terrible. Like, that's fucked up. Helmets are sturdy. And the impact on your cranium.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look.
Yeah, he's gonna be done for. Man, they're gonna make a fucking example out of this. Browns anyway. It's not like they're finna do shit. They don't give a fuck. They're gonna make an example out of his ass. You know what I'm saying? They definitely.
I would imagine so.
Man,
they're gonna Colin Kaepernick that guy.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been no. But the thing is, he should have been like, he should have been probably picked up, body slam, drop. I mean, it should have been. Look, as O lineman, you're the biggest motherfuckers on the field. You have to do something. Now, Myles Garrett's not a little guy, but all that jumping on that fucking WWF ground and pound shit ain't gonna cut it. You have to. That's your quarterback. That's my quarterback, man.
Well, so Villanueva, if you see the long version of it, Villanueva tackles him and lays on him.
Yeah.
While Pouncey is punching his helmet and trying to kick his helmet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They definitely tried to. Yeah, they definitely tried to hurt Myles Garrett after that.
You gotta find a weak point. You gotta look. You're gonna see me out about a bus or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta talk. We gotta pull a Carmelo Anthony.
You're gonna West Side Story the NFL.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Meet him in the street.
Yeah, we're gonna have a knife fight, a dancing knife fight. Because that's the only way. If you're gonna fight, if you're gonna have a knife fight, you gotta play by the rules. You gotta play by the Michael Jackson rules, and that's a knife fight, a dancing knife fight.
I'm pretty sure Jason Garrett or Myles Garrett was close to leading the league in sacks if he wasn't after this game.
He's definitely leading the league in getting sacked for the rest of the season because that's it for him, buddy. You're gonna be. It's gonna be a long time. Well, you're gonna hear it tomorrow. I mean, it'll be headlines and shit like that. You're gonna hear it the next couple of days. But then after this week, it's gonna be a long time before you hear the name Myles Garrett. It's
So before I called in about this, you were talking about Colin Kaepernick.
yes.
Do you feel like Colin Kaepernick should get picked up by a team?
There are some very bad backup quarterbacks out there.
Right.
I don't. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. Like even though I don't care for what he, the way he went about certain things. I don't really care what how that all went. I'm not gonna say that he isn't good enough to play on it. Like if you had like Osweiler, or you have some of these other guys that are out there that are on teams, he can play well enough. If fucking Nathan Peterman is on somebody's team, Colin Kaepernick can be on somebody's team.
Colin Kaepernick should be rostered. I don't really care what he did in his whole like kneeling down and all that craziness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's clearly like a publicity thing.
Yeah.
But he's definitely talented enough of a quarterback. But does his talent outweigh the wild media skirms that come to the team when that happens?
Absolutely not. Like that's the thing. Like and I don't blame a team for that because again, you're trying to keep things in house. That's why because you got to look at it like this: if AB's talent wasn't good enough to keep him or have him on a roster right now, even with the other shit going on because of the media circus and all the bullshit, which is why I felt like he was cut from the past because Bill Belichick got tired of fucking answering AB questions.
Bro, that's so different. That's so different.
Way. But I mean,
Cap didn't Me Too some chick.
No, I need proof that he Me Too'd him.
Well, but he didn't get accused of Me Tooing some chick.
Well, there was some stuff going on there.
Like, he kneeled down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But my thing is, like I say, just as far as, I think people would rather you Me Too somebody than disagree with their politics.
Well, the Kareem Hunt, or not Kareem Hunt, how am I blanking on the dude who beat his kids?
Kareem Hunt. That was him. No, it was Tyreek. Kareem Hunt beat the chick. Kareem Hunt kicked the chick in the ass in the hotel.
Yeah, but that wasn't what like a big like. I get it. He was wrong. It was bad. All that, but he's playing now because it wasn't like the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, but see, he's the one who inspired fucking Myles Garrett because he played tonight, didn't he? Because he was finally fucking off of he served his suspensions. And so, he was man, Crafts and Artists, absolutely. Man, I don't even want to go back to that Michael Vick thing, but I'm glad you said that. Like, look, at that point in time, because I think Vick had like the biggest deal at that time. He had just signed like $100 million deal or some shit. And the dogfight, man, do you understand how quickly I would have volunteered to take all of the charges if I was Vick's cousin? Like, yeah, it was me, man. I don't even know what kind of dog this is, but I did that shit. Like, it wouldn't have been no question. Nope, but Vic wasn't there, not a one. I'd have took every single one of those charges. Because the fucking $100 million man, when I get out of jail, you better have about $10 million because you wouldn't be making any money if I didn't. And so, like, that shit is crazy, dog. Like, that motherfucker's cousin a mark, dog. That motherfucker.
Tariq Hill broke his son's arm and is still playing.
Yeah.
Michael Vick was dogfighting and went to prison for years.
Yes.
Like, it's just so weird.
Well, you got it's money.
The NFL decides what happened.
Money changes the game. Lady Licious, you popped up in here the other night and then disappeared. Okay, I'm gonna have some words with you. But the thing about it is money, because you go into the guise of gambling and all that other stuff. When you put money, when money gets involved with shit, it changes the dynamic. People are expendable. You break a motherfucker's arm, oh well, he'll heal up. But when you put money into a case, it fucking changes everything. And I'm being facetious a little bit, but I mean that's how it is. It seems like when it comes to somebody's making large amounts of money selling dope, but we got to throw them away. They're not giving the government their cut. I think it seems like it's almost more that than anything else, man. And that's the crazy shit about it. So,
bro, Tariq Hill had a record. His chick made a recording of him saying, "You should be afraid of me, bitch." And that dude, the NFL's like, "Oh, we can't prove anything."
Yeah.
AB is in the same. AB's crazy. I mean, everybody. That's a living case of CTE.
Yeah, he's a fucking lunatic. Yeah, was that from the Vontaze Burfict kid? Is that what ruined him? He ain't been right ever since.
Like, I was talking to somebody about that at like the beginning of probably midway through the season. I was like, man, I don't think that guy was ever the same after Burfict hit him. I said that was like that's a walking case study of CTE. That dude is one of the most talented wide receivers ever to play the game, and he's nuts now. Like the dude is crazy.
He's a fucking lunatic. That's some crazy stuff. And you can relate to that because you're a fucking lunatic too. So I mean, so you would know it. It takes one to know one CTE. I'm just fucking with you.
Well, you clearly can't be a normal person and continue to come into the den.
No, absolutely correct.
Like you don't have the most stable fan base of people in here, Honcho.
I'm not that stable myself, so we all relate. So that's...
you have a German Nazi woman in your stream every night.
Hey. Unsolicited Heidi slander will not be tolerated.
The fact that you knew who I was talking about just proves my point.
We only got like one German in. Oh, no. There's actually two German. Lady Liz is in here, so there's two German women in here. So I guess you're right.
And on top of that, you have a girl who wears blackface in your chat because she's clearly white, waving black hands in your chat, going by a man's name in your chat. Like, you don't have like super sane people in your stream.
Look, that's I will let the den folk handle that. Y'all, defend yourself. I know y'all are gonna let this conversation take place. I can't do anything about it. You see that's the problem with you, Big M. You're exactly the thing that we're talking about here because you don't want to let people identify how they want to identify, and that's an issue.
Bro, I don't care how people identify.
Yeah. No, you're over there trying to oppress them. You're what's wrong with the world today. Sad.
Bro, you can tell me you are whatever you say, or you can tell me you are whatever you want, but whatever you do is what I judge you by.
That's terrible. You're a terrible person. You're not playing the fantasy world game, Big M.
What's that?
So you're not playing the fantasy world game? No. Shame on you, man.
All right, Honcho, I'm going to let somebody else call.
All right, Big M. Appreciate the call, man.
All right, man.
Bye. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
You know it's your boy Chill right here.
Chill, what's the motherfucking deal, Chill? What's on your mind this evening, man?
Well, first of all, just a little disclaimer real quick. If I sound a little bit congested, that's because I am. I've been sick these past 2 days. It's pissing me off.
Oh, man.
This cold weather, this rain, pissing me off. I wish the Northerners could just come down here and take their weather from us. Pissing me off.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of cold weather either myself. I hate it.
But we'll talk about the identity politics right now. The identity stuff right now. But there's one thing you forgot to mention.
What's that?
The Astros cheating scandal that's going on.
I don't believe it. Hey, I'm not. I don't. It never happened. A bunch of BS.
We'll get to that. But with this identity thing, I think it affects almost everyone negatively. I think it's ridiculous because you're basically ignoring reality itself.
Yes.
If you think about it.
Yes.
And you're changing reality because of your feelings. Now, granted, I think feelings are really important to have. If you, like, for example, if you feel like something is right, then you have the right to have your opinion. That's where opinions come from, is your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, when it comes to most cases, there is a truth, and there is your opinion. There's not going to be such thing as your truth. There's always going to be your opinion. Yeah. And if your opinion is that you're, let's say, black, but your skin color is white, then that's just not only defining reality, but you're just basically being ignorant.
So you're telling me Vicky ain't she's not black?
I'm sorry?
So you're telling me Vicky is not black?
I stopped paying attention to all that bullshit a long time ago. sometimes I honestly believe it's just a whole big uh, publicity stunt to get attention. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm.
And I mean, if she's black, then whatever. But it turns out she is not black, then I don't know. I mean, that's just very, very strange. I mean, you know, I mean, I stopped paying attention to that a long time ago. She's kind of crazy. And if someone wants to change their gender or sex or whatever to let's say from male to female, then that's, in my opinion, that's where it kind of like gets me going. Like that's one of the reasons why I left the left, because it doesn't make any sense, because they're so hypocritical when it comes, when, like, for example, climate change. They say, look at the science, but when it comes to people that are transgender, they decide to ignore the science at that point, which is weird, because they always say trust the science, but then when it comes to that, if a male wants to become a female, then that's all of a sudden okay. You're just going to ignore their biological identity.
Yeah, I do find that odd.
And you were talking about South Park. They made in their latest episode, they made fun of transgender athletes. I think that's what you were talking about earlier, and you know, it's true. It happens the same way in fighting, in MMA, and in track. I think a transgender female who obviously was formerly a male now holds the track records for women's around the world.
That's crazy.
And there's an MMA fighter that used to be a male, now a female, who is dominating right now, like undefeated, like literally leaving other female fighters with life-threatening injuries because of how strong that person is.
It's fucking crazy, man. And it's fucking crazy that again, like I said, it's that people are just buying into this blindly. Like, come on, man. I think that's the problem. Maybe, when did people get so dense? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, because it has to mean that there's millions of dense ass people out there that are accepting this. That's the only reason that this, because, you know, if it was one or two people, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You're speaking a bunch of nonsense. You know, millions of dense ass people. Because even if we're talking about, you know, 1%, 2% of the population, it's over 300 million, almost close to 400 million, I think, in America, maybe more. I don't know. My numbers may be old and outdated, early 2000s. But you're still talking about 3 or 4 million people. You know what I mean? Maybe 6 or 8 million people. So that means there's a lot of, like, when did this fucking disease of disillusion just spread? And who how did they get it? And that's why I say I can't understand it.
Well, a question I would like to ask you is, was there anything remotely happening like this back, let's say, back when you were in, like, I guess, junior high, high school, or whatever?
Man, if it was, man, I obviously missed it. Because it's just I don't see it, because there were no issues like this. Oh man, that's great. I just saw the end of it where Pouncy was kicking shit out of him. But no, there were no issues like this. This wasn't a thing. That's why I say, like, this is relatively recent. Like I say, it's just it blew up. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, come on, man. Yeah, and I guess you could say the same way that people sit here and say, oh, well, Trump he brought all the hate crime out. He emboldened all the haters and the racists. Well, I guess you could say Obama emboldened all, you know, the LGBT community, but then this ideology of this gender identity community, because it's crazy how all this stuff is associated, right? Because you have certain people who I guess you would label as the LGBT, but they don't identify as that group. They identify as their particular thing, but they don't really fuck with the rest of that group. So again, like I said, I just wonder how much of this is a media creation, you know, to make it convenient, to make it seem like this is big thing that we're kind of disregarding the individuals themselves. Or, you know, how many people really feel like this? Or people feel like, well, so I can get my, you know, so my group can benefit, I'm going to support the rest of these groups. So, you know, and then it gets crazier and crazier. So it's a wild thing, man.
Well, these days it's kind of like an Olympics. I was watching a video about this. It's like these days it's like an oppression Olympics. Like
Mm.
whoever is the most offended has the most privilege.
Yes.
Stuff like
Mm.
that. And I'm not gonna lie, that's honestly true because what's really spawning all of this. Oh, I want to identify as this. I want to identify as that. One of the things that's spawning this is political correctness.
Yes.
And when you have to be politically correct, which is obviously you're trying to offend the least amount you can possibly can. And when you allow this stuff to happen, it's like giving the other people the idea that it is okay. And again, I'm not hating on them. I just feel like they're just ignoring the basis of reality. And I don't think it's healthy because they forget to include the fact that the transgender demographic has the highest suicide rates among all demographics in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's a coincidence because now all of a sudden you're getting a lot of former transgender people that have come out and said they have regretted their sex change.
Mm-hmm.
And studies show that through therapy, the suicide rates go down like all the way near zero.
Yeah.
But when they don't have therapy and they choose to and they're allowed to go through this whole sex change process, the suicide rates jump up to 92%.
That's crazy. Because I'm telling you, there has to be multiple regrets or concern. I mean, I got my whole thoughts on the situation, and we can spend a whole day talking about it. But it's just I think that there are some mental issues that need to be explored. I think that again, I feel like big medical, if you want to call it that, is behind a lot of them. Because again, it's more money for doctors, more money for pharmaceuticals. We're going to get these people on these hormones, we're going to get these people on these pills, and if they do go through all this, okay, we're going to make money on this end. Well, if they do need therapy, well, your therapist is guiding you to do this because they have to, because it's the politically correct thing to do. So your therapist is making money, then if you try to reverse it, then hey, that's more money, for medical procedures. I think it's a big money grab. We're encouraging people to do whatever, because again, hey, if you're going to pay for it, and then a lot of these people are doing God knows what to earn the money with themselves, putting themselves at risk in many other ways just to pay for these procedures and do these things. Like I say, it's a real weird thing. I never thought that it would get this far. Like this is not to say that there weren't these types of people back then, but it wasn't a mainstream thing. It was more of like a joke kind of thing. Like, how many of y'all remember Tu Wong Fu? It was like, it's a funny movie. It's a joke movie. Now, if somebody made a Tu Wong Fu movie, it would probably be considered a hate crime. And so my thing is just like, come on, man. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's wild. It's a wild situation that we're living in today. And again, it's like they continue to push this agenda because again, here's the thing, right? But you got to realize, like, media companies, advertising companies, a lot of people who are in entertainment and all this stuff, they know there's science behind what triggers people. There's science behind what gets a reaction out of people. Shit, I'm familiar with a lot of things that get reactions out of people. I just don't like to be that guy. And so there's almost like a science to a T. If you focus on this particular thing, if you say this particular thing, if you draw attention to this particular thing, people are going to get enraged. They're going to react. They're going to respond basically this way. Certain groups are going to respond this way. Other groups are going to respond this way. And it's down to a science. And so that's why they push this shit. And they continue to feed people this shit, feed people this shit, feed people this shit. And it makes them believe that the world is one kind of way when it's not like that. And so people end up losing their shit because it's almost like a form of brain damage or some shit, because they're so confused, they're conflicted by reality and then what's being put on by the media and the entertainment company. So again, that's why I try to ease up on a lot of the TV watching. I try to control what it is that I do watch. And I know I have bias in things that I do watch, and I'm okay with that. But then I know when certain shit is just really trying to get a rise out of folks, I'm like, okay, that's a little bit too far. It's a little too much. But you just got to be real cautious, man. There's a media they're fighting for attention, especially. And I think why mainstream media is getting worse is because of the YouTubes and the other services that are able to take your attention away, the Netflix and all these other things. Well, we got to say the most outrageous. We got to fear monger as much as we can because fear is a huge selling point. We got to fear monger as much as we can and have people watching this because we're the only ones who can give you the information you need to protect yourself. And so that's why people lock in. They're telling me this stuff. They're telling me that. This is so bad because of this, that, and the third. And this is why we're here where we are now, So they've been using Trump. Trump has been a money boom for these people because he's going to blow up the whole world. So that's what they'll tell you. But, it is what it is.
I believe the word you're looking for is brainwash.
Yes, brainwash, absolutely. These people are brainwashed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I probably was brainwashed for a while, but as you know, I saw through the bullshit and I, switched my ideas up because I realized what's right and what's wrong and what's reality, what's not, and what makes sense and what does not make sense. But yeah, I mean that's a crazy thing. But now this one last thing I want to discuss is the Astros scandal. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't know. I hate people now jumping to the conclusion that the Astros were 100% guilty. The thing is, though, is that and I've seen video that was proven, and I wouldn't be a true fan, in my opinion, if I wasn't being honest with myself. It does look pretty damning, but then again, it could be just a coincidence or whatever. Because I don't know yet, honestly, and I don't think anyone should know. No one should assume that they know because there's still an investigation going. Don't like the Astros haven't been found guilty yet. If they're found guilty, then expect some major change. I would expect some major changes in the offseason, most likely. But what do you think of the whole thing?
I think it's all bullshit. Look, you still got to make the fucking plays. Like, baseball's a weird thing. It is what it is. You still got to fucking make the hits. You still got to fucking make the plays. I get it. But the thing that kills me is like all the Yankee people fucking judge and all people like, oh, remember when the Yankees were good? Yeah, when everybody was on fucking steroids, So just miss me with the bullshit. Like cheating is like a part of baseball. Even for the little while that I've been watching it, I remember when I even remember when it was super popular during the Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire era and all of that stuff. That I was a super casual fan, but I knew those names because of everything that was going on. We can talk about juiced up baseballs, and we can talk about all this shit that's going on to impact the game. Sign stealing, it is what it is. I remember somebody talking about I forgot who it was, but it was sometime during the postseason. They were talking about, well, everybody fucking steals signs to an extent. Well, the Astros were just better at it than other teams, and if it's the case, so shit, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm not really even tripping,
I mean, I'm not really tripping either. It's just something I'm keeping an eye on. Like, I'm just sitting here just waiting.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'll react I don't know how I will react if there is proof out there and the MLB does find out that we were guilty apparently of quote unquote sign stealing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Yankees accused us of sign stealing in ALCS Game 1, and they beat us 7-0. So I don't know how that made any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if it does turn out to be not true and it's all hearsay or some bullshit, then it has to be definitely salty Yankee fans or salty media.
It's super salty. Man, it's news. It's easy to make the Astros the fucking culprit. What's his name? Mike Fires, whatever his fucking name is. Fucking piece of shit bitch. It's just like, man, stop the nonsense because nobody, again, it's not the big city victory that they want. Everybody hates Houston for whatever reason. Houston gets no love in the national media. We don't want fucking Houston winning shit. It needs to be, LA City. That way ESPN can blow it up. But again, you got to think, this is back to media too. Because with these big companies, your ESPNs, your Foxes, your all whoever's covering it, where your biggest fan base is. LA, fucking New York, you might have some down in Miami. But these bigger locations, Houston is not a big media market. As far as sports or other things. So where our fans are, we want to sell them a story that's going to make them feel good. So we're going to hype this fucking Astro sign stealing shit up. We're going to blow it out of proportion. And, people are going to watch us because, that's the only reason they beat us, fucking Boston. The only reason they beat us is because they fucking stole the goddamn signs. You know what? Hey, get some new fucking signs then. You wasn't on your shit, so fuck them.
If we stole signs, then how did we have a better road record than home record?
Right. But again,
I mean,
they deliberately did that to throw people off the trail. That's why they did it. So, it's a whole crazy thing, man. But what it is.
If they take away our damn 2017 World Series champion style, there's some bullshit going on.
Oh,
Absolutely
you can't take that.
No.
Can't take it away.
I mean, if the NCAA has done it several times, and it's the NFL, or not the NFL, the MLB. So I would be surprised if they did, but if they did, then there is some serious bullshit going on. Because apparently the Astros will be given punishments unlike the recent sports history has ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. We'll see how it all plays out. Again, I don't think it'll be a super huge deal. I've been wrong before.
We'll see what happens. And to all the Ravens fans, how long have y'all been a Ravens fan? That's my question. Were y'all a Ravens fan before Lamar Jackson or after Lamar Jackson? I'm just curious.
I don't know. Some old school. Lewis had a lot of fans. Ray was a motherfucking. I was damn near a Ravens fan for a little bit because Lewis was a motherfucking monster. But get off.
I liked Joe Flacco when he was good. I'm not gonna lie, I liked him. He was a good quarterback at one point. Then now he sucks playing for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, he's terrible. He's out of there. That's a bit, though. That's a bit.
But anyway, Honcho, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. And just a little FYI, I turned 19 tonight, actually.
Oh man, well, happy birthday, man.
Thank you. I turned 19 in 27 minutes to be exact.
Is that time already? Oh damn, I didn't realize that. Okay, well that's a bit, man.
I'm gonna stay up a little bit, keep watching The Den up until midnight. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna pass out or something, but.
You gotta turn up, man. You gotta. I ain't gonna encourage you to do anything bad. You're a good dude. I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna lead you down the wrong path.
I think I'm gonna go work out in the morning. I haven't been able to work out the past few days since I've been sick, but I think I'm gonna work out in the morning. I'm gonna go hit I'm gonna hit the batting cages.
Yeah. Start off on the right track.
I'm probably gonna get myself a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and eat it right in front of a Popeyes.
Oh, you look, motherfucker might just get you just because they think you got a chicken sandwich. They might think you're trying to play a joke on you. You better be careful. People dying over these sandwiches, man.
I just hope no one kills me for a chicken sandwich.
Stay strapped.
I'm getting to the age where I can buy my own guns. Or I actually am at that age, so I don't know. Maybe not.
Okay. Well, that's a bit too.
Right,
say, man, happy birthday, and I appreciate you calling in there, man.
No problem. And as always, everyone, be sure you subscribe to Soft Sports, subscribe to The Den Show, because it's the realest motherfucking deal y'all will ever see. So, yeah. I'm always say that after every call. So.
And I appreciate it. I do appreciate that.
No problem. And go Texans, go Astros, go Rockets, fuck the Yankees, fuck the Ravens, fuck the Patriots, fuck the Colts, fuck the Jaguars, fuck the Titans. Yeah, that's about it.
I cannot disagree with any of that.
All right, well, you have a good night, Honcho.
All right, you too, chill. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Right. Look, somebody gonna take their happy birthday back because he said fuck one of their team. What's the motherfucking deal? who do we have calling into the dead this evening?
Well, hell, it's Belle.
Freestyle. That's what I'm talking about. Let's be rapping tonight. What's the deal, Miss Bell? What's on your mind this evening?
Shit. You know what? I'm almost wanting to say that, like, Big M doesn't even deserve first caller pistachios because, you know what? He talked nothing but soft sports shit. Now, I'm not saying it's not valid in the den, but what I'm saying is 99% of his call was about another platform that you use. If he wants me to be a bitch, I will be a bitch. I have no problem being a bitch. Yeah, and I am not a barbecue Becky. I have no freaking clue what that is, nor do I give a flying rat's ass. I just don't tolerate stupid. And I've had people tell me that I've been on my 10-minute time limit, and mine was up. So he just better stand his ass in line next time. Yeah. I don't give a rat's ass.
Until y'all done fired Miss Bell up, man. For those of you who
this
don't...
isn't even fired up. That's the stupid part. This is just being irritated. This isn't even being mad.
Okay. Well, Barbecue Becky is the lady that was made into a meme when she called the cops on the black people barbecuing in the park, and she had the little glasses on, and then how that kind of turned out. So yes, that's Barbecue Becky.
That ragamuffin does not know who I am. He just needs to sit his ass down and take some freaking notes and get over himself. I don't play with stupid people. It just challenges the intellect that I need to put on something else. But what I did want to say is a few months ago, I did bring up, we were talking about, especially about sports and transgender and biologically male, but transitioning to transition females playing sports. I was right there on that topic, and I still believe in the same thing. I don't think it's right. And I'm not prejudiced about too much, or I don't prejudge, or I'm not bigoted about too much. But I think that there is a natural, biological advantage with the transgender man playing sports against women.
Absolutely.
And so, like I said, it's not fair that they'd have to have a category of their own, but yeah, for them to compete amongst other transgenders, I think that it's a great idea. But it's an unfair advantage of them over naturally born women.
Yeah. Would you watch transgender racing?
I'm sorry, what?
Or transgender sports? Would you watch that?
I don't know. If it was worth it, yeah. I mean, some MMA, yeah, that wouldn't be bad at all. But most of it, and I don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of it has been brought back to like running and tennis, and most of it is non-confrontational sports, which aren't high money makers, but it doesn't mean that they don't come with what's the word I want? Record setting and validation. It just means that they're not higher paying sports. I mean, can you see a transgender going against Serena Williams in tennis?
I think you're about to open up a can of worms there.
Hey, you know what? Y'all said you didn't want me just being the white person that I am, so fuck it. I'm throwing down the damn gauntlet.
Oh, man.
Now, needless to say, I'm hoping she'd whip their ass, but I mean, I've been watching tennis for years, back to Navratilova and Billie Jean King, and when they did the doubles back in the day when it was a huge thing, when Arthur Ashe and Billie Jean King played against each other. I remember that. But yeah, so like I said, I mean, I've watched and been around sports for a long time, and let's see what happens. You know, I mean, because that's one of the highest television appearance female sports that's a primary visual. And so if something like that's going to get put on display, I'd like to see that. Not because I want to see her beaten, because I want to see her I really want to see her beat somebody else's ass. But in general, and then to change topics slightly, you were talking about when they get incarcerated or have to go away, as they say, for a short vacation. Most of the time, from what I've gathered from information, is that they have to be isolated because they can't really be with the men if they identify as female, and they can't really be with the females because they still have the male, anatomy.
They'd be a hot commodity.
Yeah, well, that's what it plays havoc on the jail. I'm sure it plays havoc on the jails and prisons all the way around. But the thing is if you really look at a lot of this, it's mental health issues. I'm not saying that being gay is a mental health issue. Please don't misunderstand me there. You like it, I love it. I'm talking about some of the other things with the gender fluid and a lot of it is far more personal issues than the general public really needs to get involved with. I'm not saying that they don't have a voice, but what I'm saying is some of the ways that they're going about this is just pretty damn ratchet. And I know going over the top is the only way that you can get heard, but it's kind of pushing the people that want to be supportive away as well. So that's kind of all I got. I probably would have more, but I know Miss Grace is probably trying to get in behind me. And so I will be a lady and bow out early.
Okay. Well, I can't fault that. Well, Miss Bell, the bell has rung. Class is finally in session. And
all right.
Thank you for calling in.
Sure, good night.
All right, good night. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I pushed the wrong buttons. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
What's up, Honcho? Peace and light. It's Mello.
Miss Mello, how are you this evening? What is on your mind tonight?
Honestly, not too much of nothing. But I did want to on that gender thing. Really interesting topic. My mom says something
Just
to
Sarah
me
donated $2
years
through
ago,
Super Chat.
which made me
Ms. Bell
really,
versus
really,
Big M vote 1
look
yes
at
2
things
no face
sideways.
with tears of joy
She
face
said to
with
me, she
tears
said,
of
"Why
joy
do you
face
think
with tears of
makeup
joy
was
face with
created?"
tears of joy face with
I'm like,
tears of
"What?
joy
You know,
face
so
with
women
tears
can
of
feel and
joy
look
face
pretty.
with tears of joy
My
face
mom
with
said
tears
to me,
of
she said,
joy."
"A woman is always beautiful and pretty." She said, "I think it was for men who wanted to explore their feminine side and to go out here in society and see if they could pass as women." And that thing, made me think. I mean, take it how you may, but it was something that really made me think a lot. And then you hear about a lot of what we call down low people out here messing with, transgendered women or whatever. And what better way to get them, to be able to enjoy what you love when you have it dressed up like the woman you want. So, I guess I said all that to say nothing. But, it was a really, really interesting thing to me. As far as the transgender people in sports, I'm just saying, how can you put a person that has all this, that used to be a male, into the arena with women and expect it to be a fair game? It's just not going to be. And that's sad for the generation coming up, I also think that, we think of people's sexual preference a little too much in this world. It's supposed to be something personal. You know what I'm saying? Once you close that bedroom door, you do what you want. Exactly. If you want to do it with yourself, have a ball. But, it seems like everybody needs to, people feel like everybody needs to know what you're doing behind closed doors or what you like behind closed doors. The only person I need to know that is the person who's behind closed doors with you.
Correct.
Well, I don't know. I don't got nothing against anybody. I feel like be you, do you, and live your life, period. As long as it's in your truth. Live your truth, whatever that may be. But we can't walk here blindly expecting that if you're going to, for people to accept it. Some people just don't ride that way. They don't feel that way. And society has made it now to where is if you don't feel like what I'm doing is right, then you're wrong. You get what? It's like, what? It's a madness. People are supposed to know every little thing that you say. And it has gotten to a point now where, like, if you speak out against the LGBTQUWXYZ community, you're looked at as somebody who's homophobic and it's not really that. I mean, when you come to the bottom line of everything, men and women were made to create other people to keep the world populated. And you don't get that when you got two of the same people doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So I got a question for you though, because in my opinion personally, I think it's, we talk about LGBT different issues and things like that. But do you think that those things should really be all lumped together? Because in my opinion, they all have different causes. It seems like they're all really kind of going after something different, but when you lump them together, it's kind of, that group. Because I think the T's are doing something different than, say, the L. We can go into the whole Dave Chappelle thing or whatever. But all I'm saying is that it just seems like when you lump them in that group together, then you're also kind of getting something. Because again, I don't think that lesbians or gays are doing the same thing as the transgenders trying to get in and switch up sports and do all that other stuff. It wasn't like Michael Sam was trying to go play in the LFL or anything like that. So I think that there's different issues with each different one. I think it's almost a disservice at this point to lump them all together.
I think I definitely agree with you. The thing that that boggles my mind a lot is, and this is just my observation, okay? This is just my perception. It seems like the women who become, or who the L's, shall I say, a lot of the L's like to portray themselves as being a man. And it's like, why can't you just like a woman and be a woman? Why do you have to go all the way out to wanting to be the one thing that you don't even want to lay down in the bed next to? And it's vice versa. Same thing with a lot of, I see, but more so with men. Men actually, I see a lot of men who are gay that just are gay. You know what I mean? They're not trying to be a female. They're just gay. And I can respect that. That I can respect because you're just being truthful to whatever it is that you like sexually. Now, the caller, the young man that had called before, he was saying something in regards to, oh, Lord, this is what I get for smoking so much weed. I don't remember what it just came to my mind and it left that quick, Honcho. Don't judge me.
You got to start taking notes.
I was trying to, but I was trying to do my hair at the same time. I had to do my hair.
Okay.
But,
I get it.
But he had mentioned something along the lines of when, like, people are I completely forgot. Okay, so anyway, that was my 10 minutes. Hello, Hot. That's how you looking at me on this TV screen.
I'm just,
listen. I honestly can't remember the thought. It had came to me that quick and gone that quick because my mind is going 100 miles an hour, even though it's going 2. So, with that being said, I guess that was pretty much all my thought process. I just wanted to holler and make that statement.
Okay. Well, Miss
Other
Mello.
than that, Honcho, a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I have no complaints.
Great.
Life is good.
Happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. I just, sometimes I never hear anybody say, Honcho, how you doing? Hear you talk to, make sure you good. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, I appreciate you for asking. I sincerely do.
Okay. Well, you have a good night. I think I'm just gonna go get my behind in the bed. I can't even think no more. So.
Well, if the question comes back to you, we'll be here.
All right, I'll put it in the chat if it come back to me. Watch, as soon as I hang up, it's gonna come back to me. I know, how life.
Yeah, that's how it is. I ain't been on it in a minute, but trust me, I remember those. Trust me, it's some old Kush dens where I'm sure I did that multiple times a stream. So.
All right, Honcho. Well, have a good night. Peace and light to you, my brother. Peace and light to everybody out in the den.
All right, thank you, Miss.
And have a good evening.
All right, you
Oh,
too.
and happy birthday to the young dude. It was already his birthday when he mentioned it here, because I'm like an hour or two ahead of y'all. But yeah, happy birthday to him.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Good night, folks.
I appreciate your call.
All right. Later.
Good evening. Shout out to Miss Miller. Miss Miller is always light and welcoming, and it's always refreshing to hear from Miss Miller. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Ashley.
Ashley. How are you doing this evening, Ashley?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. No complaints. So what's on your mind tonight?
Nothing. I just think that
Savage Donald Trump donated $2 through Super Chat. Raccoon, 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 raccoon.
There's what?
No, the bot was doing the bot thing. Appreciate the love, Savage, and Jess here. Appreciate the love from both of y'all, man. So you now you were saying that you think it's getting out of hand. What do you think is getting out of hand specifically?
I just think the options. Like, oh, I'm a guy, I can identify as a woman, and vice versa. And then they're letting kids do it. It's just a mess.
So what is your solution?
Just everyone be born as what they are. I don't see anything wrong with being a gay man that dresses like a woman, or a woman who dresses like a man. But I think you should still be like a man if you were born a man, and a woman if you were born a woman.
Okay, I get that. So what about like with the whole government ID thing? How do you feel about that? Where some places are letting them go and change their IDs to switch it up or put what X or whatever represent whatever else, and birth certificates are being changed and things like that. How do you feel about that?
Well, what is X gender?
I have no idea. I'm assuming maybe non-binary or something of that nature. Again, that's where it gets really confusing to me.
Just Sarah donated $2 through Super Chat. Savage, you are savage face with tears of joy 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 face with tears of joy.
I identify as face with tears of joy. Okay, so I missed a little bit of the last part of what you said. Could you please repeat that?
I just said I think it's weird that they should be able to identify something. Man or woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's where I get confused is when you start taking all that out. You gotta be something. You're not walking around with the fucking Ken and Barbie dolls in tell you. You're something. You gotta be something, and we gotta know where to put you.
Brandon 335 donated $1 through Super Chat.
That's funny because I'm so used to saying 335, 335. That's fine. Okay. So, I mean, so you're okay with being able to change it, but you just have to identify with something?
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of all that? Of not having a gender?
Again, I think you have what gender fluidity, so you may feel, oh no, you may feel like one day you're this, the other day you're that. Do you think? I mean, I think that's kind of how it is, something of that nature.
Yeah, but what happens once you like rob a bank or you have to go to jail or whatever? Like, where are they gonna put you? That just doesn't.
Well, you don't go to jail because you could just say the other you was the one that robbed the bank. It was if you identify as a woman when they come to get you because it was the male you that robbed the bank because that's all the testosterone and men commit all the crime. So when they come to try to arrest, like no, that was a male day. You can't arrest me today. I'm a female today. The fluids on this side, and so you're gonna have to wait a little while. And that way, you don't get charged with crime because it wasn't you that did it.
Oh goodness. This is all just crazy. I just don't.
Yeah, but I was supposed to fix this before I forgot to do with the fucking octopus face.
You what?
But it still looks crazy as shit because I have shout out to 335 man for using the face mask and I was supposed to fix the green screen so the actual thing would show up and now it just looks like some weird stuff going on with just like some eyeballs floating on the screen. Oh snap, okay. So I do have control over the voice. No, I apologize. I was I was all over the place. Let's see what we're gonna do with this. Oh, you know what? I know why that did that. I know why it was British the other day. Okay. So my fault, you guys. Yeah, I'm fucking up. I apologize. Actually, I'm all over the place because I was trying to figure something out. But but I don't know, man. And that's my thing. Like I don't know. Again, like I said, I don't know how that whole thing works. I don't understand. Again, being something, it is what it is. I don't understand how you don't feel, particularly anything one way or the other. And I think that's where it gets confused. I think that's where most people get confused. And that's why I say I think that. Okay, but just like I asked Miss Mello, do you think that we're doing people a disservice by lumping everybody in the LGBT category, or should they be identified individually?
Like as a gay and lesbian?
Yeah, like so if you're gay, you're gay. If you're lesbian, you're lesbian. If you're transgender, you're transgender. If you're bisexual, you're bisexual. I'm missing a letter. I don't know.
They're all gay people.
Why are they all gay people?
Because that's what I call them, gay.
So if a person, and this is where it gets weird, because I saw this the other day, and this is where I started getting. So what if a man identifies as a woman, but then when he becomes a woman, he identifies as a lesbian woman? So it's still technically a man dating a woman.
Like Bruce Jenner and his whatever the fuck going on with his relationship.
Yeah, so I mean, isn't that still basically? Would they be considered gay?
Yeah, they're like super gay.
But didn't one a man and one a woman?
Okay, wait. I have some stuff in my head, but no, because I don't think there's thought. Like, is it two men initially?
I don't know. Somebody told me that the who he was with was really a real woman, was born a woman, biological woman. I thought it was the other way around, but I don't fucking know. I didn't pay that much attention. I know Bruce Jenner's situation, but I don't know.
The other one was born a boy too.
Oh, okay. Well then, that's not the case. Okay. Well, here's one I saw. It was a man transitioning into a woman and a woman transitioning into a man, and so there was a story where it was, a man had a baby, and technically playing by the rules, the mom inseminated the dad. And
I see. Yeah.
okay, so would that be considered gay?
No, because they're technically a straight couple.
But they would be considered trans, but not gay.
I mean, whatever. Like, I think a man and a woman having natural sex, that makes you a straight couple. I just don't know why would they feel better identifying as something that they're not? That's just weird. And it seems like you would figure out, like, why would you be happier as something that you're absolutely not? And that you'd have to, like, go through all that stuff to even identify as. But that's just nuts. But I think they're straight. They're having straight sex.
But they're going through with the procedure to transition, so they would still be considered trans because, like I say, one is transitioning into a man, and then the other is transitioning into a woman. So that's why I say that I think that the entities should be separated, because you could be in one category and not necessarily be in the other. And I think certain people in certain categories are going to have issues that others that would be in other categories aren't. But when you lump them all together, it makes it seem like everybody's issue is everybody's issue. Because I think the biggest issues that people are really having are modern day or now is the trans thing. I think the trans thing is the biggest issue because I think people are confused as to why. I think people are confused by the non-binary, gender fluid thing. And to me, I think that all kind of ties into more so the trans thing is what I'm assuming. And I think that, but when you lump it all LGBT, Q, and some other letters that they've added on. I don't even know what those things mean. But I think, again, like I say, you're putting people who have certain issues that are unrelatable to that into that group.
Like, how would they be able to relate with each other? Or what groups are you talking about?
But that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying gay is a group. Trans is a group.
Yeah, but I think they're all, like, I mean, I think it's the same to me.
So you think like gays and lesbians have the same issues?
Yeah.
And so you would say lesbians and trans have the same issues?
That they're gay? Yeah.
But we
I'm like, all that shit's gay, just like everything south of the border is fucking Mexico. Like, I don't
Savage Donald Trump donated $2 through Super Chat.
They're all gay.
Popeye's Chicken MAGA.
Appreciate the love, Savage Donald Trump. And I brought the British bitch back. So everything south of the border is Mexico. That I can definitely agree with you on that. I label everything is Mexican. You know, big Mexico.
Don't ask me how those Mexicans got to Chile. Just know that those are also Mexicans to me.
But here's the deal. I don't know. Let me rephrase that, because I won't say that everything south of the border is Mexico. But I call everybody.
It's not Mexico, but I'm not going to sit here and say like.
Yeah, but you know my thing. Like I lump all the. I lump everybody like. Look,
just like a black person and Jamaican. I don't. They're just black people. Anyways, this isn't the subject.
Well, it depends. Maybe a black person identifies as Jamaican, right? So then now we're talking about identity. What's up, Sean? What's the motherfucking deal? So I can't be look, here, see, that's the type of stuff. But here's the thing, and I was talking about that, that I in the den I say everything is Mexican, Hispanic, all Hispanic is Mexican. I use Mexico, but I've probably learned my lesson a couple of times about that. And one I told y'all about, I called the Honduran lady Mexican, and she gave me an earful. And then the Honduran gentleman told me, don't ever do that. They'll cut your dick off. Then, want to talk about blacks in Jamaica. If you call an island person the wrong island, they will fight you. If you call a Jamaican, a Trinidad, or a fucking Antiguan or some shit like, they will get mad, and they will be ready to fuck you up. Bombaclad.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, it's
okay, bro.
Do they have? I don't know. I don't know if she's going to speak German or if she's going to have a German accent. But let's see. There's a way you could, because you can change the language. But I wonder if they translate it. Let me figure it out. Let me fuck some shit up over here. Let me do something regrettable here. But yeah, like I say, so I mean, again, I just think that different groups have different issues.
Heidi Kleindienst donated $2 through Super Chat. Put a German accent, girl.
Let me see. Where's German? All right, we're gonna test this out. Like I said, I don't know if it changes the language or if it gives them an accent or what. But if it does give an accent, that's actually pretty cool. YOLO. Where's the dilly dally? Oh, right here. We'll try it out. All right, cool. But okay. So, anything else you got in your mind as far as the identifiers or anything like that?
No, not about that. I wanted to ask you, did you see the Judge Joe Brown versus Umar Johnson?
No, I hadn't seen that.
Oh my goodness. They were arguing about Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill and how it a detriment or disrespectful to the black men because they're putting a woman on the bill first.
Well, I mean,
I know.
Kill two birds with one stone.
What?
Oh man, I'm just talking shit. I don't know which Harriet is it? Is it the Harriet from the movie or the real Harriet?
Oh my goodness, it's Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
It looks just like her.
Well, why? Well, so we're gonna put like bigger long on the $5 bill.
They're what?
So we're gonna put bigger long on the $5 bill.
Oh my god. I don't know. Just Judge Brown. He's super pissed about there being a woman on the bill.
Judge Joe Brown's a very interesting person. I think I follow him on the Twitters. He has a lot of interesting stuff to say, and Larry Johnson has a lot of very interesting stuff to say. So there's that. All right, Miss Brenda, appreciate you coming through. All right. But I'm gonna check that out. I'll definitely look at that. Cause I like Joe Brown. Umar's cool too, and so I'll see what they have to say. I'll definitely look into that.
Oh yeah. You should. There's a lot of people going crazy about it.
I'm gonna look into it.
The funniest thing. What?
What do you think about it? Should she be on the bill or not?
I think she should, but I think it's weird that this is an argument when it was going to be a woman on the bill anyways. Like, now they have black men arguing about it, so she's probably, like, going to cause further delay because, of course, niggas can't get it together for 1 second, so we can have this in one day. But anyways, I what you're saying.
Yes, okay. We go see what's shaking, but I'm gonna check it out and see what these arguments are like. I don't really give a damn either way. It is what it is. I mean, everything's going digital.
Whatever.
Everything's going digital now, so it's not like it's gonna matter that much.
I just can't wait to have a pocket full of Tubmans. Niggas are gonna be posting about that. Like all of IT. Like, oh, I got my Tubman.
I don't even want any. I don't even want any. I don't even want to see them. This is terrible.
Right. Anyways, that's my call.
All right, Miss Ashley, I appreciate your call.
Okay, bye.
All right. A pocket full of Tubmans. I have heard it all. Niggas gonna trade in the blue faces for some Tubmans. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Oh, what's going on, man? This is Kenneth.
Kenneth, how you doing, Kenneth?
I'm doing good. Peace and light to you and everybody else in the den.
All right. So what's on your mind this evening, Kenneth?
I got a couple of points.
Okay.
Let's see. Where do I start? Okay, so to begin, I'm not even going to begin with like religion because when people like people on homosexuality in the Bible, then we have to speak on heterosexual sex before marriage. We have to speak on heterosexual babies before wedlock. We have to on, drinking to getting drunk. We have to speak on cursing people. We have to speak on gossiping. If we speak on one, we have to cover the whole sector. And I say that because there are many times when I went to church.
Trying to see, are we? Y'all let me know if we back again. Nah, because I really Kenneth, call back, man. Because I wanted to hear his perspective again, because you have a little bit different insight. Let me know if it's back live, if everything's back. I don't know why, because like I say, if it was just the phone, the stream wouldn't have fucked up. But then like everything, I don't know if it skipped or something. I don't know what the fuck happened, because it hung the phone up and the stream. Like if it was just the stream, the phone would have still been, we'd still been talking. But if it was just the phone would have hung up and the stream would have still been going. I don't know what the fuck happened. It must have been a lapse in the dilly dally. Damn, I don't have the last call saved. But call back, please, Kenneth, because like I said, I was jotting down notes on what you were saying, and like I said, all right. It's Kenneth. And
I'm back.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. As I was saying, I'm going to speak from. I'm not going to speak biblically. Is my point, because there's a list of abominations that we can filter through and that we can go through that are rarely touched on. So I'm just going to speak from a different angle. And I am very spiritual. People saying blasphemy and all that crap. Like, the thing is with the internet, that people can actually say whatever it is they want to say without actually knowing a person, with actually knowing how someone feels, their spiritual journey, or anything. They just say anything without any basis. Without any basis.
Heidi Kleindienst donated $5 through Super Chat. Hallo, alle miteinander. Das ist so cool auf Deutsch. Epstein hat sich nicht umgebracht.
People may be surprised, but I believe that, you may think that you're this and you're that, but okay. Let me give you an example. When I first moved, I used to dress really ethereal and like unisexy, right? I call it costume. Now that I look back on it, I call it costume. So I used to walk outside my apartment every day wearing a costume, and unisexy. I call it a costume because it's not, how everyday people dress, So looking back on it, I do call it a costume. And people used to laugh.
Heidi Kleindienst donated $2 through Super Chat. Get to the chopper.
But it was, people in the Bronx.
Brandon 335 donated $1 through Super Chat. So does it speak English.
And looking back on it, I basically came out of my house like Cinderella, a costume, but not like a dress. But I was expecting for people to, not joke and pick and things like that. I was expecting for people to view it the same way I viewed it. But looking back on it, it's like, it looked like a costume, So just because I felt as though that it looked fashionable to me, it was fashionable, it was high fashion to me. But in other people's eyes, many colored people's eyes, it was seen as a joke. So I couldn't change the way they viewed me. Looking back on it, that's their opinion, and they're entitled to that. So I can't force people to look at me the way I look at me. They look at me the way they look at me. And that goes with the whole trends, like trans women. They expect for everyone to call them like a woman, but it's like a carbon copy woman, if you will. And the same way, I can't expect for people to view my quote-unquote Cinderella costume as the norm and respect it. It's the same way that, trans people have to look at it as, hey, you may feel this way, but you can't force other people to call you a woman. You
Die
can't force other
Lifting,
people
die
to
Groping,
look
die
at you as a woman.
Stretching,
Now, there are,
Chopper.
there are some trans people who look like full-blown women. Literally. You wouldn't be able to tell. But the point is that you can't force people to view you the way that you view you. That's my point. And most people are like shocked by that because, whatever. But that's my opinion. I do believe that, like back in the day, you didn't really see many black women leading roles in film and television. They were support actresses, But now you have the Kerry Washingtons. You have these lead actresses. You have How to Get Away with Murder. They're winning Emmys and Oscars and things like that. So whereas back then that wasn't a thing, but now that it is a thing, people aren't calling that an agenda. Do you see what I'm saying? It was an agenda, but black actresses existed.
Heidi Kleindienst donated $2 für Super Chat. Kleindienstboot. Gesicht mit Freudentränen, do you I like Sex
But they
Tigergesicht.
weren't accepted in Hollywood. Now they are. So my point is that people aren't saying, oh, the black women agenda in Hollywood. I don't hear that. In the same way back in the 90s, gay people were seen as
Savage Donald Trump donated $2 für Super Chat. Einhorngesicht, 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 Mager.
So my point is that it's a lot of cherry picking going on, and it's not even across the board. My other point as far as with the trans in sports, I do believe that it is unfair for a trans woman to compete with real women in sports, because even though they've had the surgeries and things, you were still born a man. You still have that strength, if you will. Even when you take hormones and things like that, you still have, the strength of a man. So I strongly believe that it should be separate because it's not fair. What else? The point.
I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So do you feel that, as I asked the two callers prior, should the LGBT thing be separate? Because like I say, to me, it seems like there's separate issues that are lumped together, and so I think we misrepresent certain things. Do you think that it should be separated, individually, gay, lesbian, trans, bi, or whatever, that they're separate issues, or should they be, lumped together all in one group, in your opinion?
I do believe it should be separate, because in the same way that people love to say, oh, all black people aren't ghetto. all black people don't shoot people over chicken sandwiches. Those people don't represent me. All black people aren't living in projects. All black people aren't, so look, it's the same thing to me. You can't lump everybody together, because when that happens, the first time something happens with black people that's embarrassing, oh, they don't represent me, I'm not like them, you separate yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So it should be separate. Mm-hmm. All across the board, they're not the same. And one of the callers, she was saying, oh, I have nothing against the LGBTQ, EFG, ABCD. People say I don't feel any type of way about that. They do what they do, but then you come with a condescending remark like the LGBTQ, EFG, HIB. It's condescending. Mm-hmm. So in the same breath, you're saying, oh, I don't have a dog in this fight, but in the same breath, you're being condescending and disrespectful. When look at Malik Yoba. When Malik Yoba came out as he likes trans people, the black people ripped him up. Mm-hmm. But in the same breath, those same black people say, oh, if you're gay, just come out and just be who you are. Mm-hmm. It's very hypocritical. Yeah, and another point, people were saying like,
Chris Johnson donated $1 für Super Chat. Chris Gotti meint Hashtag Höhe as Honcho.
That's very incorrect. There are plenty femmes and femmes, they're together. There are plenty of gay men that's not like it's not like masculine, feminine. There are plenty of gay men who are just like feminine. Like, you just can't box everybody together. And many people are speaking on things they know nothing about. Many people in the chat don't have any gay friends. They don't, judging from how, ever since I've come into this group, not everyone, but it has been gay this, gay that, gay this, gay that, when I talk or when I come on. Oh, this is the gay dude, this is that. You see what I'm saying? But in the same breath, they say, oh, just do what you do. And then they say, we don't need to know what goes on behind your closed doors. Many gay people don't even tell who they have sex with. It's the straight people who are banging on those doors to see who's inside. But in the same breath, they say, we don't want to know. But they're banging on the door to see who's inside. When anytime a man in your town, whatever, he's even seen with a gay guy or talking with a gay guy, oh, look, he's gay. Everyone around town is saying, oh, he's gay. Look at him. Oh, he likes, you know what I'm saying? But in the same breath, they're saying, oh, dude, I respect you. Just do what you do. That is the reason why there are a lot of men on the DL, because black people are very hypocritical. In the same breath, they say, come out and do what you do. But then when you do, and you're seen with someone gay, like I said, you may not even be gay, but you're friends with someone who's gay. Like I said, most of my friends are heterosexual men. In undergrad, most of my friends were heterosexual men. In grad, most of my friends are heterosexual men. And they have been, many people have come at them like, oh, why are you hanging around with that fag? Why are you hanging around with that gay guy? But in the same breath, they say, oh, the gay guy just, I don't have any problem with him. Hmm. Do you understand my point? No?
I get you. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's my thing. And, people try to say that, gay people, like gay men are trying to be women and this, that, and the third. Just because a person acts feminine does not mean they want to be a woman. Me personally, you can ask my cousins, my family members. They'll tell you, like, since I've known Kenneth, since he was a child, a little baby, he's always been feminine. He's always, been a dancer and, somewhat flamboyant. Since I was like 3 and 2, like, he's always been that way. When I was that age, 2 and 3 years old and 4 years old, there's no way in the world a 2 and 4-year-old is in their mind is like, I want to be a woman. That's just not a thing that goes on in such a young child's mind.
Okay, we know
that
what you
child.
know what
Savage
you saying.
Donald
That hold
Trump
on.
donated
Oh,
$2
wait till
through Super
the
Chat.
robot finishes.
Totan,
Doing what it does.
totan,
That
totan,
brings up a very
totan,
interesting
totan,
question.
totan, 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 totan,
Oh, let me wait till this
totan,
is over with.
totan, 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 totan.
So you said at that age. So are you kind of against, or do you see an issue with, a lot of these people who are taking these kids at such a young age and trying to do the trans thing and talking about, puberty blockers and hormone blockers and trying to convince their kids at this age that that's what they feel? Do you see an issue with that?
I do, because that's such an impressionable age. And, I mean, at that age, kids just want to be kids, and they just want to do what it is that they want to do at that age. And that may not be the way they'll feel when they're 18 years old, when they're an adult, So for an adult to try to transition a child at like 4 and 5 years old to be trans, to me, I disagree with that, because later on in life, the child may feel different. I feel different from the way I felt as a child. So I do believe that it's wrong. I mean, I believe it's wrong, but I'm not anyone's parent. I can't tell anyone how to parent. But I personally believe I wouldn't want. That's the thing. Like, why can't we just have, like, my gosh, like, why be so real and you people? Why you just gotta keep with that? Like, that is so played out. Give me something new about nuts hanging, swishing. Give me something new, bro. Like, you're whack. You people who constantly come every time that I speak, you're saying I want attention. When everyone else calls every day, you don't say that. I mean, you're just very hypocritical.
Kemah Chris Johnson donated $1 through Super Chat. Honcho, du bist ein Oreo.
When it comes down to these issues, yeah, it's just a bunch of hypocrites, if you ask me. But I do believe that you should not try to transition a child at such an early age, because they are impressionable, and they really kind of don't know what they want, even though they do. But they kind of don't, because they're a child and their brain isn't fully developed yet. So I do believe that they should wait.
Okay. Interesting. And one more thing, because this is what brought me to the conclusion, because I forgot where it was, but I heard somewhere that the gay community doesn't really get along with lesbians, and that maybe the trans, and that's why I wonder why they all get lumped together, because apparently there's some infighting going on. And one other thing, like with the whole transitioning thing, and I know you're not trans, but I'm just curious about these questions. Do you think that a person who is transitioning should identify and tell someone that they were biologically born something else?
Yes. I definitely believe that, especially if they have not transitioned all the way, meaning they still have their male part. I do believe that they should tell them who they were. Now, if they transition and like all the parts are cut off and things like that, I'm kind of in the middle with that, because no part of them. But then again, they still have the voice and the Adam's apple, but that could be shaved down as well. I'm kind of in the middle with after they make the full transition, but, when they present themselves and call themselves trans and they haven't made the full transition, I do believe that they should be upfront with it, with whomever they're with. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because you can't try to trick anybody. There's a lot of people who have been murdered. There's a lot of trans people who get murdered all the time, and some get murdered because they did not tell the person who they were before, and many get murdered on the strength of them being trans alone. So there are differences in that. But all in all, I agree with someone that said that we just look too deep into what goes on into people's bedrooms. We give it too much attention, because at the end of the day, if that person isn't coming on to you, or if that person's not trying to get in your pants, then it really should not get you to the point where you want to fight them or you want to kill them or you constantly berate them like this toxic person that's in this comment chat. Like, it should not incite you that much that you constantly berate them and you come at them and you kill them and you want to fight them. I've learned through time, people who have picked on me and called me gay and names and things like that in school, those were the same people who were knocking on my door when I graduated high school and went to college and you know, found myself. So I do believe that people who literally come at gays and trans and all those people, you know, all the time and constantly say fag and, you know, oh, here's this gay guy, things like that, they have some feelings within themselves that they are suppressing. Me personally, like I said, I was having sex like way back in the day with men, but in high school, I used to pick at gay people myself. I used to be like, oh, look at that fag. Look at that faggot. Look at that. You know, because that was the thing, you know, and I was suppressing my own feelings. And that is the thing with many people, especially many men, and from what I've experienced, many black men who constantly come after gay men. They want to fuck themselves. Period. I have friends that I've met in New York. I have this guy who's a pimp, like a real pimp. Like, he's been to jail for pimping, prostituting. He's a pimp. He pimps women. Mm-hmm. And this guy takes me with him on his whole strolls to show me the rounds. He's showing me around, take me to his hood. You know, he's never come on to me. I've never come on to him. He's so content within himself. He's not concerned about what anyone thinks of him. That, to me, is a real heterosexual male who's content with himself. And then you have other guys who constantly go at trans and say, you fag and you transgender, oh, I hate this person, ooh, and you're just so upset, you know, but what reputation do you have to protect? You look bummy. Most of these men who were joking and picking, they're wearing pajama pants during the hours of business, meaning they have no job. Many of these people who are trying to police gay people and trans to tell them how to dress and how they should look, many of these people are busted. Many of these women who constantly come after gay people, they look horrible. Okay? They are masculinized, if you will. They say, my nigga, my nigga. These are women. They're not even being ladylike themselves. And as I said, you have many of these men, they're living with the women. Mm-hmm. They don't have jobs. They're driving the woman's car, eating her food. They're not contributing to the household. They're sorry fathers. But in the same breath, they feel as though that they can police another person on how they look and how they should dress. Well, hey, I personally feel like that wearing your pants below your ass is gay. There are plenty of men here in New York who wear their pants to their knees. Dick print out, ass out, whole nine out. Someone like me, fully clothed, fully dressed, fully clothed, fully dressed, and people have the right to police what I wear or what a trans person's wear. But you're walking around with your ass out, bro. Your dick is swinging, literally. But your boys aren't saying, hey, yo, bro, yo, pull up your pants, yo. I ain't trying to look at your ass, man. I ain't trying to look at your dick print, man. If that was the case, there would not be many men, urban men, with their pants hanging down to their knees if they were being policed in the same way gay and trans people are being policed.
You got a point there.
It looks very nasty. It looks very nasty. And if you want to get down to the fact is that when you're in jail, that was a sign that you wanted to get your booty fucked.
That's terrible.
But where is the policing with that? That's why I just call it a bunch of BS and a bunch of hypocrites. Because if it was across the board, there wouldn't be all of these men with their ass out and dicks out. Women accept it. Women are fucking them. Women aren't policing them. Women aren't saying, oh, pull up your pants, that looks nasty, yo, that looks gay. That's some fag shit. Women aren't saying that to them.
Man.
They're talking out of both sides of their mouth. That's why I can't take many people seriously. That's just my opinion.
I mean, you have some valid points there. I cannot disagree with some of those things again. But I'm gonna get ready to wind. I didn't realize we'd been on the call as long as we had. But
yeah,
you know, I'm just interested. Like I say, not knowing you coming from, I guess you would say, a different group of folks. So I just find it interesting because I don't often have time to or have the chance to have conversations. And so, like I said, I appreciate you.
In the same way that white people judge all different racial groups, and they have all of their friends are white. All of the people who they engage with are white. Most of their coworkers are white. They're not engaging in conversations with people with other ethnic backgrounds. So when they give these opinions, it isn't based on fact because they're not around these people personally. In the same way with the gay, trans, me being in this group with you guys saying I'm the first one here, it should be educational in a sense that someone is in here shedding some light on the reality that they know nothing about. But instead, you have people, stick with your like minds and stick with your like minds. But if you stick with your like minds, how will you be educated? How will you know? How will you know that what you're saying is inaccurate? In the same way that when white people say, all niggers, all black people are niggers, all black people act this way, they're not even friends with black people, so how can you know? You only say that because what you see on TV, what you see on the news, but you don't know them in real life. I just want people to just be real with themselves and stop letting society gear their emotions. Because if the majority of black people accepted people, trans, and all these people wholeheartedly, there wouldn't be a lot of gay bashing going on if it was accepted. But it's not. It's accepted to be when you're a kid. Kids go like, oh, that's gay, that's gay, that's gay. Because at such an early age, they see that it's unacceptable in the community. So if that's unacceptable, let wearing your pants down to your fucking knees be unacceptable so that can change. That's my point. I'm not going to hold it up, obviously. I'm about to get off. Thanks. It's been good being in here. Yeah, I just find it like very typical that every time that I've come into this group, every time that I've get on the chat line, it's been just very negative, man. Like, people don't even try to hear me out, to try to hear what I have to say, to hear my point of view. It's always, get this gay guy off, get this fag off, get this gay guy. It's just very ignorant.
Well, Kenneth, goddamn it, it's my show, so if I enjoy the conversation, if I'm being enlightened by it, then hey, it is what it is. To me, like I say, it's all about perspective. And again, I appreciate it. Even though, like I say, even though I may not 100% agree with everything, but I do get to see a different perspective. And to me, that's what it's all about, if you have an understanding of someone else's perspective.
The guy says, we get it, you're gay, we don't care. You say you don't care. If you don't care, then why do you put so much effort into caring? That's the thing. Like, people say they don't care, but then they put all through the since I've been talking, the same people have been just coming wrong, but then they say we don't care. If you don't care, you're not going to put so much effort into caring. So I'm going to get off. Yeah. Have a good night.
All right, I appreciate it, Ken. Thank you.
All right.
Now, it is about that time to wind down. But Man up if you wanna call in. I'll take a call if you wanna call in. Man up. My thing is this, and that's what it's all about. This is why I love the Den, because again, like I said, of all the multiple perspectives, whether we agree or disagree on whatever it may be, it's about understanding. Either you bolster your points, whatever your argument may be, or you come to an understanding of someone else's side, or you just learn a little something, or if you don't give a shit, you don't give a shit. And, like I say, all of that is all cool. You have the right to do whatever you choose. But I thought the point about the sagging pants is very interesting, and especially the point about women have no issue with that, because I've seen some shit. And especially with this younger generation, I'm not saying that we didn't sag and we didn't do all that shit back then. You grow up and you learn, but I've seen some shit with young niggas and they got holes with them and shit. He's like, you said these motherfuckers the fucking pants be mid-thigh, damn near at the kneecap. And I'm just like, how do you one, walk comfortably like this? You look like you up to some shit, and so if you're doing dirt, how the fuck you gonna run? How do you come in? And again, but nobody says anything about it. But again, like I say, I find it extremely odd, So I think that was a good point they made about that. Man up, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind here?
Hey, man, first of all, I want to say thank you for taking my call. That's why I was asking when you shutting it down, man, because if you're going to shut it down, I was going to call in probably tomorrow or whatever. Mm. But I appreciate you taking my call. But before I get started, I want to say to Kenneth, man, whoever's bugging you about your sexuality, man, trust me, we as black people, we know discrimination. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know your nationality. I don't know if you're black, white, or whatever, man, but we know the discrimination. So if anybody fucking with you about your sexuality, you know what I'm saying? It's something within them. You know what I'm saying? So if they talking about you're gay, you this and that, tell them to go to hell. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, you be you. That's all you can do is be you. Mm-hmm. So if they want to bug you about you being you, it's something within them. Maybe they got a crush on you or something. I don't know. So just have to throw that out there. Your business, your life, you do you. Plain and simple. But I called in, man, because I left a comment on that on your show that you did talking about we got beef. Mm-hmm. And before I get started, let me ask you, do you have time for me to say what I got to say?
Man, spill your beads, man. I got you.
All right, then. I appreciate that, man. Mm-hmm. First of all, I want to say, I don't know if Lady Tia, or however you say her name,
yeah,
I don't know if she's in the chat.
Lady Tia. I'm fucking Lady Tia, yeah.
I don't know if Lady Tia or Ms. Meat is in the chat or if they listen or whatever. Mm-hmm. First of all, I want to say, when I told my story, nobody has to believe anything. I don't care if you believe me or not. Mm-hmm. It's up to you. It's your business. You know what I'm saying? If Ms. Meat don't believe me, fine. Don't believe me. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. Second, I didn't tell the whole story because Honcho finger had wound it down and I wasn't finna drag him on. So I was trying to be respectful of Honcho's time. So I just went to the meat of the story, I guess you could say. So I was trying to be respectful of Honcho. So that's why I just asked Honcho, did he have time? Because I don't mind telling the story. I don't care. Because I think it's a thing that we as people, not just men, women too. Yeah, I know you get into your emotions and your feelings, and people, saying, well, fuck with how you feel. But you can't, like Honcho said before, and I've said it plenty of times, you cannot go to that place because there's always something bigger that you have to take care of in life. So, but also let people know that you mean business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wanted to knock the dog shit out of her when I caught her. Mm-hmm. But I knew I got a son at that time, you know what I'm saying? He was only 3-4 months old. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to risk me going to jail for a long period of time not being in his life. Mm-hmm. She's not worth it. So, so the whole thing is this here. Yeah, I did what I did because, hey, she hurt me so deep, I could have just cut her damn throat off. I could have shot her in the head. I could have killed both of them, actually. But what I did, I said, you know what? I gotta maintain the home. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta beat up for my child. I thought about all that right off the bat. Because you know how people always say, well, you should have thought about that. Well, you should have thought about that. Well, I thought about that before I did anything stupid. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing what I did, okay, fine. I said, okay. I made it seem like I wanted to fuck, and I just pushed out the front door. See what I'm saying? I opened up that front door, pushed her ass out, and I told her while she was out there, I said, since you want to give your goods to everybody, there go your chance right there. See what I'm saying? And I'm not going to tell the whole entire story because I'm still trying to be respectful of Honcho's time. I know you want to go to sleep, but I'm just giving y'all a little bit more of it. So the only thing is this here, and I'm going to end it, is this here. Miss Meek don't have to believe me, but I can tell by the way she talks is that something must have happened to her. And she came out and said, yes, she was abused, or something like that. I forget her exact words. But she said some things have happened to her, so it was a personal thing for her. So, and I get that, you know what I'm saying? But hey, guess what? It was a personal thing for me. See what I'm saying? So whenever you go through something that hits you so deep, I think we as people need to sit back, think, and be like, okay, I'm not going to do this because at the end, I'm going to end up suffering. The best way to make that person suffer is to show them that you don't need them.
Yes, I agree.
Male or female, show them you don't need them and move on with your life. Because even to this day right now, she's causing problems with my current wife. I haven't been back to Texas in a couple of years. And she told my wife like about a month or so ago that I was at her house for the weekend. So it's like, see what I'm saying? So when you show somebody that you don't need them, that hurts them deep. And that's exactly what I did. I went on with my business, handling my business. Because if I would have did what I wanted to do, y'all probably would have never met me. Y'all probably would never knew who I was, never knew I existed. You see what I'm saying? So,
fortunately, you made the right decision. Fortunately, you made the right decision because I think all of us in the den appreciate man up, man.
Yeah. So it's just a thing, man, to where I think it's not just men, because I know it hurts us deep to see our woman betraying us, and I don't know for women because I'm not a woman, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But I know women do get more emotional than men, and they will not listen to anything. They will just react and try to hurt you. But at the end of the day, just like I said, it was a long time ago. I want to say it was like maybe 10, 15 years ago, whatever, that a woman caught her husband cheating in downtown Houston at a hotel. She caught him with another woman and just ran over his body back and forth like 5 times. Yes, he's dead, but she's spending the rest of her life in jail. So she's suffering, not being with her kids and all that. See what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's why I say we have to stop and think. Just fuck them. Go about your business.
That's true.
But anyway, man, I'm not finna run on too long. I'm gonna let you handle your business, man. I'm finna go and get up out of here.
All right, man. I appreciate the call. I appreciate you kind of expand on the story a little bit to give us a better understanding of it.
All right, man. You have a good one now.
All right. You have a good evening. All right, we're gonna wrap it up on that one. My thing is this, man. You said Garrett, then my fucking Miles Garrett said a win's a win. Wow, I gotta see the rest of the nonsense that took place with that. Mason Rudolph, he's Bush League. Told him, I wouldn't have been so polite. I'd have been this old bitch ass nigga. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. If I was Mason Rudolph, N-bombs would be flying and I'd have a pass. This motherfucker just hit me in the head with that. Fuck Miles Garrett, old bitch ass nigga. But yeah, man. So like I said, we get ready. We gonna get ready to fucking. We gonna get ready to wind it down. I make myself chuckle sometimes, man. But I agree with man up, man. The thing about it is you gotta And you got to move on. You got to kill them with success. You don't let them know that anything that they doing gets to you. I noticed something funny today because when you talk about women and people and things, I'm not gonna get into the story. I might get into it. Maybe Sunday we'll talk about it. I'm gonna save that one. But people are funny. People are interesting. And DeMarque, look, I watched you and fucking Myles Garrett after taking a trip to Taco Bell. That's the type of shit I be on. Oh, what I call you? I called you out like this because you was in there. You had popped up in the stream the other night, and you disappeared. And you've been MIA. You know what I'm talking about? I'm still trying to get my za. But nah, I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up here in a bit. My thing is this though. Like I say, not necessarily that my opinions are changed, but again, like I say, I find it very interesting to see things how other people see them. Yeah. Oh, and what I'm going to be doing soon too, probably tomorrow I should have it done, because y'all know how there's been a lot of changes on the YouTube. It's been a lot of stuff happening. I don't know, Shelly, you a blind face behind a thing. I don't know. I don't know. I think you might be catfishing. You catfishing from a blank profile picture. But my thing is this, man. My thing is simply this. YouTube's changed a lot of stuff up, and I've seen a few channels get kind of waxed for no reason. And so what I'm going to be doing, if you are interested, I will have let me set up an email thing tomorrow. So if you want to get on the Honcho mailing list, just in case, because I mean they've been just killing some channels for a lot of they've changed the terms of service and the rules now. A lot of stuff is happening, especially starting the 1st, I believe, but they're changing some stuff starting on the 10th, and then some other things are changing on the 1st. Because again, like I said, they got hit with that lawsuit, so now they're making you do a bunch of stuff as far as videos, what they earn. There's supposed to be a big decrease because of the way shit is getting represented, because the shit that's targeted at kids, and y'all know my shit ain't targeting no fucking kids. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it set up with a mailing list for tomorrow, or I may post it on the community page. I'm posting the Facebook group too, for those of you who are in there. And that way, if anything ever happens to you, I mean, basically hedging your bets, because like I say, some people who had no strikes, no nothing, they wake up and their fucking channel is gone for whatever bullshit ass reason. So been a lot of work behind this channel, been a lot of work behind Soft Sports, and that's not something I want to just lose so easily, just in case somebody didn't like something that was said here, or I may have said, or I've said a lot of shit, so I'm sure people can find some offense in anything. Every video you could probably find something offensive, especially in this day and age, in this culture we live in. So I'll have that set up tomorrow, so that way, if you want to get on that and keep up with all updates and things, just in case anything changes, that way, if we have, when things are going to be going live, that way I'll just be able to reach you directly, as opposed to going through YouTube. Sometimes YouTube don't send notifications, all those good things. So we'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? I got how many more days I got? What did I say? Did I say that on the 10th or something like that? I think I got a little bit, but we'll talk about all that. But once it gets all said and done, ultimately the end game is to definitely have my own platform, so that we can speak freely and don't ever have to worry about being under the thumb of, big tech. And like I said, because that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about, having the conversations that need to be had. Shelly, Cam Newton wear your clothes, so yeah, you might like Cam. You might, you can double up the closet space, and y'all can all kick it. You know what I'm saying? My cash app. What is my cash app? I just gave it out the other day. I forgot. I need to memorize. Maybe that helps. You know what I find fun? Like, I don't have any games on my phone, but I've really got an interest in Sudoku. I find that very entertaining for some reason. I put a Sudoku game on the phone the other day. Honcho ENT. I'll put the thing. And so, like I said, but there's nothing else really to speak on that. Like I said, I just want to be prepared because a lot of shit has been changing around YouTube. I've been noticing, and so want to be on top of that. Beaker, Beaker was that's funny. Shelly, free porn on the phone. Huh? I make my own porn. That's how I get out. I don't need no. Mahjong is cool. I like Mahjong. I used to play Mahjong on the PC a lot, but like I said, I wiped all the games and stuff off the computer, the phone, all that. I had an Xbox. I don't even be playing it that much. YouTube's been banning all the white supremacists. Well, according to some people who come to the den, they'll be banning me next. They claim I'm a suspected white supremacist. Yes, I do. I'm proud of my work. I work diligently to do what I got to do. But I'm trying to think outside of that, man. Like I said, I appreciate all of y'all, man. Like I said, there's a lot of change, a lot of things been going on with the den and how it's progressed. I just look back. Every now and then I'll go back and watch some old dens. I probably can't watch more than 20 minutes of that shit because I'll listen to it. I can't watch because they're terrible. They're terrible. But we're gonna keep on shaking. I don't even know what Red Ice TV is. Sounds like Bloody Ice. That's that. Said that's you on Twitter. Who is on Twitter? You ain't on the Twitters. But I don't know, man. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, Twitter does have all the good stuff though. While you bullshitting. That's very weird that you would even think that, Big M. I actually have a thing. I don't like my hair being pulled at all. I don't like it being touched. That causes problems. So, but I find it very odd that you think of my sexual habits. So we'll all be questioning Big M next stream. But with that being said, I appreciate all of you. It is an honor. Let's rewind. And rewind the answer machine. Some of y'all don't even know what the answer machine is. Y'all grew up in this day and age of fancy voicemail. It is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to get to chop it up with y'all each and every night. And I thank you for granting me that privilege. Until mañana, chug up a deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. And you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here, man. Fuck it. I'm gone.